Welcome to Chain of Events, an interview series by ULAM Labs, where we discuss the latest happenings and innovations in the blockchain space. I'm your host, Tino, Partnership Manager at ULAM, and today I'm joined by the heads of a very interesting project called Fantasy Extreme that is built on the Internet Computer Protocol blockchain network. Sherry, Malik, welcome to the show. And yeah, for the viewers, do you mind giving yourselves, giving us a quick intro, starting with Sherry?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity, Dino. I am Sherry,
Welcome.
working as basically in multiple fields. Currently, I am here basically with you in a fantasy extreme as a founder and the CEO. Fantasy extreme is basically is one of our passion project. I myself, as a player, a soccer player, a physical soccer player. So this was a project that we were planning to make it from around last 3 to 4 years, but we didn't have a blockchain on which can take the step forward. Around sometimes ago, around a year ago, we got some projects to develop on the ICP, and we got to know about ICP, and we decided to develop on it. So now I would like Malik to please take out from here now. Malik, please.
Hi, hello everyone, and again, thank you, Tino ULAM Labs, for this opportunity. My name is Malik. I am into software development industry for last 10 to 15 years now. We are working with blockchain for last 8 years now, actively. So yes,
Mhm.
as Sherry said, we here as a team, actually we are a software house, white labeling development solution. We have
Mhm.
offices in US, Canada, etc. So we do a lot of outsource projects also. But this was a project which
Mhm.
was we were planning since long, and but were not finding right place. Like EVM based blockchains was not good enough. There were a lot of issues with the gas prices, etc. So nothing was becoming feasible. But then, of course, we started developing it on ICP, which I will elaborate later. That what was reasons which made us do that. And now we are live with our alpha version, and we're actively promoting the platform.
Great, great. Well, before we actually dive into discussing the project itself, why don't we define what fantasy sports is?
Yes.
Somebody like me who's never heard. I mean, I am aware of fantasy sports. I have kind of looked into it, but I haven't really explored what fantasy sports actually is. How would you describe fantasy sports to
Oh,
someone like me?
okay. First thing, we need to understand that fantasy sports is not a concept which is, it's not a new concept. The concept is around since you can say since the start of internet. You know, I do remember playing fantasy sports. I am a cricket fan, so I used to play for cricket. There was certain websites in Web2 where in 2000, maybe in start early 2000, 2000, 2001. Since then, I am playing involved with the fantasy sport. Whichever game it is, it can be applied to any game possible. Whichever game it is, it basically works that it's a way to test your skill and understanding of the game. It's different than any kind of betting or these kind of thing. It's actually more of a skill based game where we don't bet on the results. We don't do. We have nothing to do with the results or outcomes of the game. What we are saying, out of available quota of players, whether it's football where 11 players, each team have 11 players, whether it's cricket, whether it's any other game, you out of the because there are always two teams playing a match, right? So out of two teams, you select your best team, which you think will perform better individually, which players will perform better, and you create your own team as a coach of the game. And then when they perform in real world, based on their real world performance, you are awarded with points through some algorithms. There, like if we talk about soccer, if somebody has scored a goal, uh, um, he will be awarded with 10 points, for example. If somebody have defended a goal, he will be awarded with 5 points. Somebody have done a tackle and these kind of. So all the in-game stats will be converted to the points, and these points will be awarded to the players. Now, these players, if they are in your team, your accumulative points of your whole team will be more than somebody else. So that's the whole concept, testing your understanding and strategy of the game. Now, there are very established platforms around. If you see big players like Yahoo Sports, CNBC, ESPN Network, they all have their fantasy sports platform for different games, not only for football, cricket. Then there are big names like, Premier League. They have dedicated separate platform named as Fantasy Premier League, where players or users or sports lovers go and they create their teams and they compete against each other. It's mostly, as of now, till now, it's mostly about bragging rights. If you play football and I
Yeah.
do play football and Sherry does play football. And between sports lovers, there are always arguments. This should have been done this way, and this should be have been done this way. This player should be in starting 11, etc., etc. Right?
Yeah.
So now, but there is no way to prove that whether Tino understands the game better than me or I understand the game better than you. So this is one way of measuring it. Said that if there is a fantasy sports platform, so Tino creates a team for a particular match, and I create a
Mm.
team for a particular. So whoever team scores more points or wins more often, of course, have a better understanding than. So it's a quantitative, you know, uh, uh, solution to the old problem between friends. So that's
Okay.
actually
And
the concept overall.
that's actually pretty interesting because many times in my life, I've watched a game and I've watched the coach make certain substitutions or
Yeah.
call a different play. And I'm sitting there,
He
ask
should be doing
myself
this.
that I like, why can't I do like I should be doing this? I'm pretty sure that I could have made a way better call or decision. But
Yes.
I guess esports is like the perfect platform to put that to the test, because
Yes.
everyone's just talk. Let's see how you actually perform.
Yeah.
And, the team strategies is put in your hands.
Yeah, that's the gist. You got the gist of it. And it can be
Mm.
applied to any game. So that's the basic concept. And this concept is around. There are
Mhm.
established platforms already in Web2 space, uh, which are have like if I said FPL, they have like daily traffic around 300,000 users. People are visiting that site per day. They have active team for every week. They have teams around 30 to 40,000 active teams or active participants playing against each other in different competitions. So that is only one platform. And then there are big platforms like ESPN, Yahoo Sports, etc. So the penetration is there, and in recent years, the sports related stuff have gained boom again. So this actually field is booming and increasing like anything.
Great. Got it. All right. And I guess the second question is more directed to Sherry. Um, you mentioned in your intro that you've been an avid fantasy sports fan for a while. And I'm just curious about your origin story with fantasy sports. Tell me about the time you
Okay.
actually fell in love with fantasy sports. You've been hanging on to this dream, this project for 4 years up until you could actually build it. I admire your resilience and persistence, by the way. But yeah, tell us a bit about that story.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to share that story. Basically, me and Marik have the same because we were connected from a very long time. So we had this thing. As I told you, I am a football player as well. I play soccer physically on daily basis.
Hmm.
So, and being a software engineer, it is my work. So I just wanted to combine my passion into my work. This is the basically reason behind it. Around 4 years ago, around in 2019, 2020, when we thought about it to implement first time in the blockchain sector, because it is already available in Web 2.0, but there are some limitations. Malik will be explaining later that all things like geographical problem, no rewards, and all these things. But when it comes to the blockchain side, there are some issues. There are some, you can say, the hurdles there that stops us because in the blockchain, the gas fees problem, it is not a problem from the user side because user want to play. If user is playing with the $10 or $100, he wants to cash out them every single penny of his money. But when it comes to the blockchain side, from the developer point of view, or from the there is a gas fee, there is some hidden fees that cut out. Because of this, the user can get rid of. So this is why we were unable to select the blockchain. Like no EVM were there. The solution was there that we should make our own gas-free blockchain and all these things. But that's a very big ecosystem that need a very big ecosystem and all these things.
Mhm.
So around in 2022 December, we got some projects to develop on the ICP.
Mhm.
At that time, we get to know about the ICP, and we studied it on its specifically its reversal gas model and all these things. Then we clicked it. Okay, so this is the platform where we can implement our idea. So this is basically the story belongs to it, and we are here with the development of.
Great. So I guess ICP was a perfect candidate and it presented itself at like the most opportune time.
It is
Yes, you
actually.
can say.
Great, great. So I guess now we know about why ICP, as you highlighted, because of their model. Um, and now I'm curious to know what makes fantasy extreme so unique. Because as you mentioned, Malik, the model itself, the concept itself of fantasy sports is not unique. It's been around in Web 2 for a while. Why have you guys, taken the challenge of, transitioning or moving fantasy sports onto Web3?
Okay. First thing, the reason we are developing it in Web3, it's not only that just we want to label it that it's a Web3 based, you know.
Mhm.
There is an actual need, and I think blockchain can make a real difference in this particular domain. Reason being, I'll tell you what kind of problems are there in Web2 platforms which we are trying to solve and how it makes it unique than any other fantasy. I'm saying any other fantasy sports platform. So first thing is that as of now, I mentioned the bragging rights thing, if you remember. Now, bragging rights is the only thing most of or 80% of the fantasy sports users are getting out of their time being spent on the platforms. Like if you go to FPL, Yahoo Sports, CNBC, all these platforms, the rewards or any return on winning is next to zero. Most of the time there are no rewards. So and even if there are rewards, then the second issue is that they are available in certain countries, sometimes in England, sometimes in US only. Why? Because these are the platform registered there. But if somebody is in South Asia or Southeast Asia, or somebody is in Africa, it's not available to them. So even they can participate in those tournaments because most of the time entries are free. But if they win something, practically it's not possible for them to have those cash or rewards with them. And the rewards are not enough. That is one problem. Second is the I said it. This thing is there since long, and the worst part is that nobody have tried to change the way it is operated since long. We are trying to solve problems because I said I am playing for the last 20 years. So the issues I faced during those times, we are trying to fix those issues because these are the issues which are faced by most of the fantasy sports users. For example, if I take football as example, if you go to the FPL, you are a person, maybe you are not watching all teams to play, but maybe you will watch if there is a match between Manchester City and United. You know the big teams, you know Chelsea and maybe some Liverpool, but you don't know all 20 clubs. But when that happens, if you go there and you want to create your team, they will tell you to choose one team for the full week. And full week, it will have 20 teams in them. And then what you have to do, you create one team. It will take around 3 to 4 hours for you because you will do your research, etc., etc. And second, if you are doing it seriously. And second part is that then you have to remain active. What you have to do, you have to keep changing the players after every match according to the next match and etc. etc. This model of gameplay is really, I think it's flawed, but
Okay.
nobody tried it. So what these are the two big things we are doing. First thing, I believe if you are a sports enthusiast, and the basis of sports is that there is no geographical boundaries. Everybody should have equal right to any kind of opportunity. If somebody has some kind of talent, if somebody understands football better than anybody in USA, and he wins it every time, but just because he is living in Africa or he is living in Asia, he is not able to encash them because it's not company is not registered there. He should not
Mhm.
be. We should not be stealing his rewards from him. So our
Mhm.
blockchain will allow us that no matter where the person is, he will have equal opportunity, equal right on any kind of reward, on any kind of talent he has. So that was the first thing. The second
Mhm.
thing is that, as I mentioned, the game system is flawed. Nobody have 1.5 hour to spend until he's a diehard sports fan. And then asking for engagement throughout the weekend is a hectic process. So we are introducing a match-based model rather than a week-based model. So what we are telling you, you there are 20 matches, 10 matches in Premier League every week. So you don't watch all matches, don't watch. You have time to watch one match. Just create the team for one match. It will take you 5 minutes to do your research. You create the
Okay.
team. You watch the match. As soon as match finishes, you get your rewards immediately, no matter where you are. And if you are not free for rest of the weekends, okay, don't create the team. You know. So it's a
Okay.
more flexible method. And also earlier you will get rewards only after the full week will over. If you are on top, then you will get reward. For us, as soon as match finishes, you have your rewards for that particular match. And if you want to play the next match, good. If you don't want, just let it be. Spend time with your family and friends, etc. Whatever you want to do, do.
Got it.
So we are not trying to hook you up with us and then keep you busy for rest of the week.
So it really helps save time. So,
One more
okay.
thing I want to discuss. Yeah, one more thing I want to discuss here. Uh, Besides of these all problems, we still have a market of over 90 million people who are playing this game and who are playing these games. Like if we just talk about last year, 2023, there were around a market of around 46 million people who, and if we talk about in the dollar value, there is were a market of $30.95 billion. Besides of these all
Wow.
problems, like people are uh, trying to do something in it. So if
So
we see the analysis of the 2024, there is an expectation to go for the $35 billion market in just 2024.
so there is a market.
So it's,
Yeah.
yeah,
And despite all the problems with no rewards, geographical boundaries, etc., but still people are playing. And this number is supposed to grow with time till 2030. We are expecting uptrend, market is expecting uptrend in the number of fantasy sports. So what we are saying, imagine if we can solve these issues. If I can tell people sitting in Asia and Africa or any other part of the world that you will be getting rewards as somebody sitting in US or England is getting. So imagine the potential this particular market have. And there is a genuine gap in the market as a business point of view. There is a genuine gap in the market and there is a genuine problem we are trying to solve.
Got it. So if I'm understanding you guys correctly, the two main reasons of why it's gone Web3 is one, to make because of the massive market, people, sports enthusiasts, they do take part in fantasy sports, but because they may live in regions that are restricted in terms of payouts, blockchain and cryptocurrency really comes in to solve that problem, providing accessibility. Because as we all know, that cryptocurrencies aren't bound by
Boundaries.
national, uh, banking services. They're not bound to traditional financial systems.
Yes.
So by putting it on blockchain, you bypass that region restriction when it comes to payouts.
Yes. And
And the
and
second, uh,
yeah, please.
and the second one, you mentioned that you're able to, if you can participate in a league or in a match week and you don't have the time, you can just create a fantasy team and participate in a single match, like for example, over the weekend, and still get
yes,
rewards.
yes.
Wonderful. All right.
Yeah,
Talk to me
and
a bit.
there are
Yeah,
no
go.
practically there are no rewards in the current ecosystem. Current ecosystem don't give any rewards. There is one more flaw. Commonly, like FPL only gives the you option to play a Premier League, but if you want to play Fantasy La Liga, you have to visit a different platform. If you want to play German League, you have to visit a different platform. If you want to play Champions League, you have to visit a different platform. If you want to create fantasy team for rugby, you have to visit a different platform. What we are starting with football, but we want a single platform for any sport or any league. If it's soccer, our platform will give you Chinese champions, Premier League, La Liga, any league you ask for. So
Got it. All right. And talk to me more about this rewards economy. Um, how are you dispersing rewards or payouts to players? Is it in a specific token that's native to ICP? Is it in stable? Could you please just shed some light on that?
Yes. See, first I'll explain you the reward model. It's very
Mhm,
transparent. First thing, see, as simple as that. We don't charge you for anything for creating team, etc., etc. There is no charges, and because of the reverse gas model, although it's on blockchain, but there is no gas fees even. Okay, so when you
mhm,
create a team for particular match, you have different level of contest with different kind of entry fees. So there are contests with free. Free means you don't need to pay any entry fee. So maybe there are no rewards or there are reward for first position if there is a promotion or some kind of thing. Then you have paid contests like maybe one ICP as an entry fee or five ICP as an entry fees, you know. So what we do when we collect, like for example, if we have 1,000 participants with one ICP as an entry fee, so we are getting 1,000 ICP as an entry fee in our entry fee pool.
mhm,
Out of that, we will take 20% as a platform fee, and rest
mhm.
80% of the reward will be distributed to top 40% of the contest rankers. Okay.
Okay.
So if we are taking example of 1,000 people, it means 400 people out of 1,000 will be winning reward.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
it's not,
So,
yeah, it's not only the first position or second position. It's top 40% of the people will be coming out from the match with some kind of reward.
okay. So not even the first position, not second, not top 40, but 40% of the
Yes.
participants do
Yes.
receive
Yes.
rewards if they participate.
Yes.
Okay. Considering the fact that the entry fee is for, as you said, for example, one ICP, you guys are merely taking a 20% fee and the rest is redistributed to the participants.
Yeah. And there are no other charges on the platform, any kind.
Okay. Okay. And how about player recognition beyond just earning the tokens or the rewards? Are there any other achievements such as
Yes. First thing, the
unique
top,
NFT?
uh, first part is, as I mentioned, bragging rights. It's a very important part in
Oh
fantasy
yeah,
space. As in,
that's the biggest badge of honor, right? That's the
yeah,
biggest
yeah,
of
badge. First thing is that the platform homepage shows the top four earners of all time. They can be segregated in different ways, number of money they have earned. So first recognition users will be getting on the platform itself. We also want to recognize the users who are doing it. Already, as I mentioned, that we have Alpha Variant Live and we have some NFT which are utility based NFT. We are launching those promotion with the in the close correspondence with Yuku Marketplace. And we have, as soon as our paid version is not live now, but we are planning to make it live soon because we are going to SNS by the end of this year. So as soon as they are live, there will be some recognized non-transferable NFTs as a collectibles for the series. So for example, Premier League 2004, 24-25. So during all the matches, because our model is a single match model. So what we do, we will track all the users who have created the teams, and out of the users who had won maximum matches out of those, all the matches of FPL will be a Premier League champion for 2024-25, and he will be getting some kind of special badges on their profiles which they can share on the social media, and also some NFTs to show that this is their achievement for that particular season. So these things
got
are
it.
in process, and we have some big plans for all the things. But it's early phases on this, so we are working on the core parts now, generating awareness, and then these things we have in pipeline, which we will be rolling out soon.
Okay. And moving on to the security aspect of the platform. How are you guys ensuring security of players' digital assets, for example, on the platform?
So first thing, what we did is that none of the digital assets are minted by us. What we are using,
Mhm.
we are collaborating with third-party providers who are already renowned names in the market, like Yuko Marketplace, which are on the ICP marketplace, ICP ecosystem since long. So by doing this, what we do is that we bring in their inherent security, which is already in their platform. On our side, what we do that we already, as I said, because ICP ecosystem have verification system of all the calls. Blockchain needs signature to verify any kind of transaction. So these things are built in, comes with the blockchain, and then we have added some extra security layers to make sure that nothing of these kind of things happen. And because every transaction, every thing is transparent, so even if there is a breach and we don't want to tell people about it, we can't hide it because it's a blockchain. So our money, monetary policy, our funds movements, our transaction happening, everything is public record. We want to keep it transparent and we want to share everything with them.
Okay. Okay. That is fantastic. And the fact that you guys are taking it seriously gives players that extra layer and boost of confidence
Yes.
on the platform.
Yes.
And with the blockchain being transparent, there's nothing you guys could literally
And
hide.
we are not
So
planning to hide anything. We are very open to it. That's why even if you ask our reward policy, we are not using any word in hidden charges, gas fees, etc. It's a simple
once we
transparent model. Yeah, transparent model. I have told you everything. You can verify through the blockchain that how much funds were there. You can verify through the entries in the contest how many funds were collected. It's a simple calculation. 1,000 users, one ICP entry fees means 1,000 ICP were collected. And by the way, on the platform, we have a reward calculator. So actually, you can practically put the number of entries and entry fees, and it can calculate for you if your position is 27th, how much reward you should get. So it's a
oh,
dedicated calculation, nothing happening from our side.
what you calculate is exactly what you receive as a
Yes,
player.
yes,
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. This is an incredibly exciting project, especially for those who are fantasy extreme enthusiasts. Unfortunately, we're reaching the end of our time together. But before I let you gentlemen go, could you please, just like looking ahead, where do you see fantasy extreme in 5 to 10 years? What are the major milestones or technological advancements you hope to achieve, and how will those shape the future of fantasy gaming?
Okay. First thing is that within this year, we are going to be a DAO.
Mhm.
We are targeting to be a DAO by the end of this year. So this will make the project community driven, which is really we are excited about. So as of now, we have plans. Of course, it will need the community approval later. But first thing, it's a web-based platform. We are planning in coming year. We are planning to roll out. We are giving the football sport. We are planning for rugby, cricket, and American football in the coming year with the mobile app to be there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, our aim is in coming 7 years, we should be covering all the major sports of the world. So anybody want to play fantasy sports, whichever game they like, they can come to our platform and enjoy that game and play that game with the same kind of transparent reward. How we want to revolutionize, we don't want to be alone this industry with these kind of models. We want other platforms to follow the suit, make the things which are easy to access throughout the world, make the things which are more rewarding to the users, because more rewards we will give to the users, more bigger community we will have. And as you know, sports enthusiasts and sports market is booming. It's expected to boom for coming 7 to 8 years. So I think we are really at the right time to, blossom with the whole market. And I hope we can add some value to the whole ecosystem.
Incredible. I truly love how you guys are maintaining that user-centric focus, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, most welcome. And we are
Thank
the
you so
user
much.
first
Thank
and
you.
developers later. So we are the user of the platforms
I
also.
want to, yeah,
And it
I want
helped,
to
right?
mention one more thing here,
Yeah.
because it's already the Friday here, and we
Mhm.
have a promotion ongoing. We are giving $25 worth of ICP every week.
Okay.
So it's a chance for your community to go on the platform and make your team. And if they are going to win the matches, they can get $25
I
worth
will
of ICP.
highlight the match. It's Barcelona versus Real Madrid this weekend. And we're giving $15 for that particular match. So if you are
Okay.
an El Clasico fan, you can
Mhm.
win and you can enjoy.
Go
And
and
really,
win
adds to the
win your
excitement.
reward.
That is awesome. This is incredible, like a fancy platform on Web3 created by the actual users. So that is beautiful. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you very much, Tino. Thank you for
Thank you
having us.
so much, guys.